record on this computer. All right, so I showed you guys already how to do free vector images. Vecteezy is the most awesome one. There's free vector. But remember, that is Illustrator style designs that you can kind of pick parts out, modify them, right? You really shouldn't be just taking them and slapping them on there and you know, kind of like claiming the stuff is yours, right? But the other one, I think we talked about this. There's unsplash.com. Everybody should look at this one. Now, unsplash.com. Now, be aware. These are free high-res images from people like you and me. Some of these people are photographers. Some of them are very good. Some are probably professional level. But you usually have to give them credit, right? They ask that you give them credit in whatever you publish. Now, taking these images and printing them out and selling them at Art in the Park is probably not ethical, right? Everybody knows that, okay? But check it out. If I type El Paso, Texas. Oh, yeah, there's stuff here. Yeah, check that out. These are photos. Now, they could be people that are from here. They could be people that were traveling through. Yeah. Now, remember, people can get your stuff here, right? It's like a very sharing type website, which is cool, all right? But just be aware. So this is one, and you can download the file. You don't have to create an account or anything, all right? So let's say Rusty Metal. This is just one, okay? Cool. Now, me personally, I mean, these are just regular kind of textures, right? So this is one, and I'm going to download one right now. And then you've got, you can type free, high res, that's important, textures. Bless you. This one I use a lot. It's called wildtextures.com. All right. So these also have lots of patterns, textures. Again, it's convenient, right? I'm going to use this one. Now, again, you guys that love dragging and dropping stuff, this right here, everybody listen to this part. This is super important. Row one, everybody listen. Row two, Sherry, Julian. I have people doing this all the time. They grab this like this and they drag it to illustrate. No, this is not even the image. This is called a thumbnail. If you know anything about websites and how they're made, this is just a representation or a link to take you to the real thing, right? You are not getting the high res one by doing that, okay? Now, when you click on it, it shows different examples of how you're able to use this. Look pretty cool. Anybody know how they did this with the A? We've done this already in class. Anyone? What do we call it? A clipping mask. Yeah, right? You could outline a font and throw this texture in there, and I'm going to show you how easy that is, right? Okay. You can see they use this, right? You could download this file and say you had a printer like the big one we have. Everybody listening? There are people out there that create custom wallpaper for very rich folks, and they use these type of printers, right? It's very expensive and they charge a lot of money, but you could literally, if you wanted to, have wallpaper in your house that's nothing but faces of you if you're that into yourself, right? Do you think there's people out there that would pay for that? Oh, yeah, right? Of course there is. So just that's an idea to think about. All right. Screensavers, right, for electronics, etc. Look at, there's the wallpaper. Look at that. People pay big monies. People would pay to wrap their Lamborghini with that just to be, oh, look at me. Okay, now notice down here, right? It tells you it has the actual file here. This is the actual file. See, you can donate if you want, if you feel ethically and morally, what would you say? Not convinced, but if it feels good to throw them $1 or $2, right? If you can afford that. Now notice how it loaded. Yes, everybody see how it loaded? This is the actual file, and I can right click or control click, save image as, don't copy it, save image as. This is the correct way, right? I know some of you guys, no, that takes too long. Well, that's the way this works, all right? So I'm gonna download this one, right? And just to give you an example, this is literally like a file that like Tony has his high-end camera, or if you have a DSLR, right, and you have it to the largest pixel settings, this is literally that big. Watch, I'm gonna open it. It has not been edited. They might have adjusted the colors and stuff. There it is. And if I open it, it is a 17 megabyte file. That tells me it is direct from a camera, right? No different than you guys going in your backyard if you have an old shed at grandpa's house and you take a close-up picture of flaky paint on wood like this, all right? And if I go to image size, there it is. Everybody looking, you don't have to do this part. I'm just showing you. When you download something that claims to be high res, it must be large size or already 300 pixels per inch here, all right? We're gonna have a whole lesson on resolution later. But everybody looking at this, somebody tell me what width it shows that it is there. Yeah, how about height? Yeah, they already formatted this to a square. That literally is that size. This file is that size. If you guys look down on the floor, these tiles are exactly 12 inches square or 1 foot. Who's good at math, Bella? 12 and a 56? Anybody? 12 and a 56? 56 divided by 12. Somebody do it quick. Huh? What is it? Or call it 57 divided by 72, divided by 12. Anybody? Somebody help me. We're hanging on a Zoom video here. Come on. All right. So it's almost 4 feet. No, it's a little bit over 4 feet. Sorry. So it's a little bit over 4 of these tiles square. So if you look at 8 of them, right, 4 by 4, that's the size of this file in physical properties, right? I know we're looking at it digital, but you know how I'm always bugging guys. What size is it, right? Now, when you have a large file like this, do you want to place a 56-inch file on your 8.5 by 11 document? What do you guys think? Huh? Anyone? Do I want to place a 56-inch by 56-inch file in my Illustrator file? No. Now, some people don't do this step. I'll teach you guys. If you do it after this, good. If you don't, it's up to you. But traditionally, we call this image sizing. That means I'm going to make it more manageable. Everybody watching? All right. We'll be doing this over and over if you don't quite understand. But say I want it to fit on my 8.5 by 11. What if I made it 10 inches? But notice, this is my opportunity to make it high resolution. All right. You can't do this after the fact. If I would have left this at 72 and I say, okay, I've already manipulated it where it only has 72.
Good morning, CCTV. The drill is now over.
All right.
Return to normal activities in and outside of the building. Thank you.
All right. Anyway, so this is a correct way, okay? I'm making it more manageable, and I'll show you what I mean. So if I select that. So now this is 10 by 10 at 300 pixels per inch. I'm gonna save another one. Save as, save on your computer. And I'm gonna call this one Peeling Paint. And I like to put underscore HR, right? I'm gonna zoom in on that, right? I just changed it. I changed it so I don't save over the old one. And I'll show you the difference. Boom. Okay. Now I'm going to come back to my Illustrator. I need a card. You're like, no, well, you said this was going to take 10 minutes. I think we're at 12. I typed open. Jeez, my brain's on morning time here. Okay, cards. No. Sorry. .ai. Excuse me. Why can't I find it? I know I use this computer. Give me a second. Oh, there it is. There's the outside. Okay. Everybody watching? Okay. So how do I, oh yeah, there's my Whataburger. Okay. Are we watching? So say that I wanted to add a texture for whatever reason to this one. I'm going to go to my window. This is the outside of my card. Layers. Did I tell you guys I made a card for my wife for her birthday? No? Yeah. I did it by hand, though. I didn't use a computer. I'll take a picture. I'll show you later. It's just like text. Hand lettering stuff. Okay. Layer 9, texture. Everybody watching? Texture, paint, boom. New layer. Shift Command P. Peeling paint. HR. Watch, I'm just going to click. Boom. Notice how it's 10 by 10, yes? At 300 pixels per inch. If I place the original one that I downloaded without image sizing it, it'll still work. Don't get me wrong. But look at how big that is. You okay there? All right. Could I scale it down? Sure. But I didn't make it. It's good to make it the right size. All right. Okay. Are we watching? Look how simple. Say I wanted to add a texture. You know what? Let's add it to the back. For whatever reason, I want a peeling texture. I know. All right. Are we watching? So I could scale this down, but I'm not going to because it's going to stretch it. It might look weird if I did this. I mean, most people won't know, but we'll know that it's stretched, right? I'm not going to do that. Watch what I'm going to do. Simple. You guys know how to do a clipping mask, right? You draw a shape. Boom. Rectangle. What's the magic command, the lucky number? Select both the picture and that. Command 7. There it is. You say, Novo, why would you have that texture? It's too much. It's too much in your face. Watch this. Window. This is why we had transparency. You bring this one in window over. Everybody watching? One of the quickest ways is put it on multiply. And it lets the color, this is just a filter. It's non-destructive, right? It puts a multiply filter on it. And I can reduce the opacity or how much of it shows up. Look at this. You can do it to a point where it's barely noticeable, but you know there's something there. It's not just an orange background. Pretty easy? Very easy, right? If you want to add textures, all right? Or something very subliminal, right? You could do that, okay? Everybody got that? Did you guys see this Whataburger one? Did I do this one with you guys, or is that with somebody else? Huh? But I didn't do this Whataburger one with you guys? Yeah, but this isn't the exact one, right? All right, so like Michelle, you should pay attention to this, or anybody else that hasn't done the back, right? Because everybody should, do I have to do the UPC? It's part of the criteria. It's not difficult. Everybody should look, Ty. Everybody looking. You guys that got here later, Tony, Maya. These are some of the things that maybe you guys missed. So Command Y, everybody looking? This is the last part of this. Some of you guys already know. Some of you guys already did this. But I do want a fake UPC. Everybody watching? So what's the first thing? New layer. And I did comment on some of the stuff you guys have turned in, and I've sent pictures to some of you guys. You guys aren't naming layers, right? You guys know who you are on Schoology. All right. UPC code. Remember, this is a fake one. So what's the white box? What do you guys think? What shape is it? Yeah. Get a rectangle. You even have a rounded rectangle tool by just clicking the rectangle. What color is the UPC? You draw it. I think the one I did was 1 inch by, let's see. Pay attention, Michelle. You really need to pay attention, Michelle. All right, everybody looking? I'm doing 1 inch by, I think, 1/2 inch. No, that's not enough. Again, there's no exact size. I'm doing 1 inch by 0.6 inch. Everybody see it? By 0.6. All right, I just dragged it. That's all. I want it to look proportional like a rectangle. Everybody looking? You zoom in. Once you zoom in, you get your little regular selection tool, and notice there's these little circles, right? These let you create a rounded corner. That's the radius. Just something like that. Sometimes the UPC is just not radius. It's just like that. That's fine. Whichever one you want. If you don't want to do that, don't do that. We'll leave it like that. Yeah. Everybody looking? How do I lock an item? Not a layer. How do I lock an item? Who said that? Autumn. That's very good. Command 2. I taped it down. Sorry, I'm eating my oatmeal. You didn't lock it. If you got to select it, Command 2. It's taped down. Yes, we're taping it down because we're going to draw on top. Watch. Everybody looking? Ty, Maya, Tony? You guys that probably didn't get to this point? Okay. Huh? Okay, no, I'm saying the copying and making patterns. Watch this. Now we're going to draw the black bars. They're no different. They're just tall rectangles, yes? What color should they be? Thank you. You go here, you choose a nice dark black, or you can choose the default. I don't know if you guys noticed on the toolbar. It's kind of hard. Oh, it got stuck. Oh, no. Oh, that was weird. Anyway, on the toolbar, you have the default black and white. You can do that. No stroke. Let me zoom in on that. Everybody see it? Oh, it's kind of hard to see. I can't move it. Let's do the double-sided. Oh, there we go. Regular arrow. Right? See the colors here? No stroke, no stroke. Everybody should get that. No stroke. Rectangle. Everybody looking? I'm going to draw a tall, little, long, skinny rectangle or fat one thing, whatever. Everybody see? Yes? Right about there. Look at the spacing on mine. Look at the spacing.
Is it okay if the actual rectangle itself, like the one we're on,
yeah,
has a stroke?
There's no reason for it to have one. Yeah. If your rectangle has a stroke, especially if it's black, you don't want that. There's no UPCs that have a stroke. All right. Just get rid of it. Everybody looking? Ty, Maya, Tony, anybody else that doesn't remember how to do the option and drag stuff? So in Illustrator, you guys that weren't here at the beginning, most people, if I say copy this little bar, what do? They do Command C, Command V, right? Everybody remember this? And I always refer to it as like, that's how grandmas do it. The ones that know how to copy and paste stuff. Don't do that. We're an Illustrator. You need to learn it professionally. We click on the object. Everybody looking? Oh, I got the rainbow wheel of death there. Okay. You drag it to where you want the copy and you hold down Option. Now, if you hold down Shift, then you're guaranteed that it's right across from itself. See? And you don't let go of the mouse until you have it where you want it. For example, I'm going to do it right about here. I'm holding down Option. If I don't hold down Option, you won't see the copy. You'll just end up moving it. That's not what you want. Command Z if you messed up. Don't try to put it back manually. Option drag with the mouse. Let go of the mouse first. This is where people make the mistake. They let go of the mouse last. No, let go of the mouse first. There's your copy. Now, Illustrator remembered how much you moved it and that you copied it. So the next step is Command D. That means duplicate. Yes. Cool. Now I got lucky. It looks even, but guess what? A UPC, are all the little bars the same? No. So now I click on the second one. Everybody looking? And I use my arrow keys like if I'm playing a video game and I move it over and I do need to zoom in. I do tell people zoom in and I'm going to make this one thin. I made it thinner, right? Does it take a few minutes to do this? Yeah. Yeah. Just, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I want you to at least try to make some thinner and thicker, right? You know what I mean? If you just leave them all the same thickness, then it doesn't look right. And if you're not a detail-oriented person, oh man, you really need to, because say your boss, huh? Yeah. And guess what? This is the type of work. Do you think the people who do animated movies don't take care of details or don't do what their bosses tell them? Oh no, I'm just gonna do it like this, boss. No. That's why we see awesome animation, right? Because of the details, right? If it wasn't about the details, and it's the same for graphic design, they're related, right? We got to do it. If it takes us a few minutes, fine. And guess what? Watch what I'm going to do. Everybody watching? I'm going to select the two thin ones I already did, and I just do the same thing, Command D. right? And this one I can move this way. I mean, it shouldn't take you but a minute or two. Look at it. That looks like it's got some variety, and I can make one even thicker than the other one, or fatter, or whatever you want to call it, or fluffier. All right. Fat with a PH. There you go. Okay, look at that. Cool. All right. That even took me longer because I'm explaining it, but that should take you like 30 seconds, man. Don't tell me you don't have 30 seconds to do some little lines like this. All right. All right. Everybody ready for the next part? All right. Now, typically UPCs, they have the two outer bars are longer because they have a number on them. We're not being super technical here, but there's one way you could do this. Like I made them all the same length, right? Everybody watching? I think the other one I drew, this is the cheap way out, and I drew a rectangle and I made it white and it's just on top and it's kind of like faking that these are shorter, right? Everybody see what I did?
Oh, yeah.
Huh? Everybody see that? That's the cheap way out. Watch this. The what? Check it out. The true way to do this should have been this. Everybody watching? Can I get, and it's probably the same amount of time. I get the direct select arrow, the one that lets you pick everything, and I'm just gonna drag it. Everybody's watching. It's hard to see up on the screen. You can see in the video later. I'm only selecting the bottom of all these little bars, but not the outer two. Boom. And I use my arrow keys to indent them up, if you want to call that. Did you guys see that? This is the correct way. This is the way I would do it if I wasn't lazy about it. Everybody saw that? Yeah? Actually, I have a gap here. This gap is bothering me there. I put another one there. That gap was bothering me. Everybody see it? Yes? No? And then I get the type tool and I click, don't click on it because then it's going to think that you want it on the things. I click right under it. And this is where I put 000. And I can put whatever date you're going to give this to somebody. So I say, what's the date? 14th? Right? 9/14. You could do 00s, 22 if you want. Like you don't want to do the 2022. Right? It's just like a little code thing. You can put whatever numbers you want there. All right? Okay? Now you're like, no, well, it doesn't fit. Well, that's why we have the character palette. Command T. Let me zoom out. Command T. Right? Characters are fonts. You move this in. Let's look at this. Right? And again, this takes longer showing it to you guys because, well, we're doing it step by step. Make the font smaller. Everybody watching? Everybody watching? Oh, man, what's going on over there? All right. So now I'm noticing that I don't have enough room, and I don't know if I want to go any smaller on the font size for the type. So guess what? I'm going to get my direct select arrow again and select all these guys, including the outer ones. I'm going to bring it up a little bit to give me some space. I'd say right there. Boom. All right. Everybody looking? Ooh, it's close. A little bit more. Direct select arrow. There you go. This should fit now. Beautiful. Look at that. Cool. Yes? No? Watch this. Everybody watching? Everybody watching? Ty, you watching? Tony, you watching? Maya, you watching? Julian? Check it out. Right here on your character palette, you're gonna say, Novo, I need to space them out. Do not do this. Everybody look. This is people that don't know Illustrator, that aren't trying to learn graphic design. What do? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Guess what? This never works. Why? Because, oh, I don't have, don't do that. Look at this. Now, we don't want to do this either. If I catch you doing this, don't stretch them, man. Oh my God, don't do that. Every time you stretch text, images, something bad happens. I don't know what it is. I was going to say something, but we're recording this. Anyway, everybody watching? Look how easy. You guys are being young graphic designers, young professionals. You're learning the right way. Right here. If you don't see all these details on your character palette, go here, show options. This is called tracking, right? Some people call it kerning. All right. This one, it has a little V and an A. All you do is this. Hold it down. Hold it down. I'm clicking on the spacing. If you want, hold down the shift and click the little arrow up. And that'll make it quicker. Look at right there. That is the correct way. You show somebody you know how to do this, you'll get hired as opposed to the person who stretches them, who does all that stuff. This is the professional graphic designer, digital knowledge person. All right, everybody got it? Yes? Everybody watching? Watch this. Look at this step, the last step. Now, I want the 0 and the 2 at the end to be there, but I want all the other numbers here to be higher. Everybody watching? Watch this. I'm going to highlight all the numbers inside. And you guys see over here? This is called baseline shift. This one, not vertical. Vertical is going to stretch it. Baseline shift. Everybody watching right here? Look at this one. This guy, the little A. Watch this. Oh, wrong way. That's the correct way. Cool? Command S, save. Unlock my white rectangle that I locked earlier. Select all this. Command G to group them. There's my fake UPC. All right. What are you trying to do, Michelle? You have to select stuff like this, see? All right. Everybody got it? Okay, I'll come help you right now. Let me stop recording here. All right. Nice fake UPC. And later on, we're actually going to learn how to do real UPC codes. But, all right. Let me turn this off. I'll come around, see how people need help. If you need me to show you that again, no problem. I'll post this video as well. We're going to try and finish this card Friday. All right. Stop.